What's going on, y'all? My name is Joltage, and today I'm bringing you the last LC match of SPL 8's Week 1 between Levi of the Sharks and Zorodark Zorodark of the Bigs. Yeah, that's who it was. That's what teams they are on. Sorry I wasn't able to catch this one live. I was out all day yesterday. And, yeah. But anyway, better late than never, I guess. Before I start on this commentary, I want to take this time to ask for some feedback on how they've been going so far. Do you guys think I should work on anything in particular? Stuff like that. I've noticed, I kind of, in recording these, a lot of times I will, say something, and it'll end up being kind of dumb sounding afterwards. Simply because I'm not looking at calcs or anything, or just not taking enough time to fully assess the situations in game enough, and I want to know if it's bothering anyone that's happening, because I don't know, I feel like that could potentially make you guys view me as a less informed commentator and turn you off of watching the video. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but yeah, please let me know if that is an issue, because that'd be cool. Anyway, let's start looking at this game. Levi's team, he's rolling with the fatness on this regen core plus timber, a low and grimer, and then Kabuto. This is the second Kabuto we've seen this SPL. I think Kabuto is actually pretty cool. With rock spin, weak armor buff, it just made it pretty decent, I think. But the fight spam with the regen core, it's a very fat team. Yeah. Anyway, looking over at Zorodark, we've got dark spam. Well, kind of. It's two fights and then there's two darks. But we've got the dual dark core of Volibee and Scraggy, probably Dragon Nance Scraggy, though it could be Scarf Moxie, I suppose. Ferroseed for Hazard, Snubble as the primary fighting check, Ghastly, likely wall breaking, and then Jinjo's a potential Scarfer, or could just be its standard pivot set. Not a lot of Volt Turn opportunities unless it's a non-weak armor Volibee. You don't really have any Volt Turn on this team. Here you only have U-Turn, I guess. So neither of these teams are particularly heavily Volt Turn. I don't know why I felt the need to bring that up, but I did. Anyway, let's just start. So lead Mienfoo on Levi's side and lead Volibee for Zorodark. What was I want to say? Oh, anyway, so Levi is likely faster than a Volibee unless it's a Scarf Volibee, but you don't really expect to see that here. So Levi's pretty safe to just U-turn, or obviously it could be slow foo, but typically you're not a slow foo if you've also got a timber. So a U-turn for Levi here is pretty safe. Zorodark also has a fairly safe switch in Snubble. I don't know why I paused that, because that's exactly what's going to happen here. As Zorodark does go Snubble, who is, like I said, a really safe, fairly safe switch in into Mienfoo. But Mienfoo's going to U-turn out right into Fungus. Zorodark's going to predict a Spore on this turn, and Levi's going to double out to his Mienfoo, so that was a solid play there. Ferroseed's forced out back into Snubble, where I expected a knockoff there, but Mienfoo decides to go for the U-turn again, this time into Grimer, who's a bit more threatening offensively. Zorodark still decides to go to Ferroseed, who takes a knockoff, loses its CV Light. The knockoff did a solid amount, but nothing overly threatening. In comes Timber as Ferroseed decides to set up rocks. Snubble's really being stretched this game. looking at it, as Timber's just going to fire off the Drain Punch. Doesn't do a whole lot, but I mean, it shouldn't do a whole lot. Zoro's going to double out to Volibee on the Fungus, so that was a very solid play there. And I believe a U-turn is going to come out. As it does, in comes Kabuto. Weak Armor is going to make it +2 speed, and it likely would have outsped anything, but this Chinchou is, seeing as he went to the Chinchou, it's probably a Scarf variant. Anyway, he's going to Volt Switch out on the Fungus switch, and let me just slow down. Got me. Yeah, let me just pause so I can catch up. Volt Switched out on the Fungus switch in, gaining that momentum as we had Volibee in again. Back in comes Kabuto, who's going to take another U-turn. Again, Weak Armor going to give it the old boost. And back into Chinchou. So, yeah. But Chinchou turns out not to be scarfed, as Kabuto is going to set down its rocks and then get Volt Switched on. And in comes the Snubbull, which forces in the Grimer, and is going to force out the Snubbull into the Chinchou, who's likely taking a knockoff, as it does, and that does so much. Jesus. Damn, Grimer's strong. I haven't used it yet, but damn. Chinchou forced out here, doesn't want to take the Shadow Sneak, as Zorodark's going to go Ferroseed to eat it and do a little bit of damage with Iron Barbs. Go for a knockoff itself just to remove Grimer's Eviolite, and Grimer's proving to be a bit of an issue for Zorodark's team. Pursuit is going to take out Ferroseed on the next turn, and in comes Snubbull again, who actually gets to use its Berry Juice. Bit of a tangent I'm about to go on, but I never use the Berry Juice Snubbull. I always use the Berry Juice Snubble's moveset with Thief, but I never use Berry Juice because I swear this thing gets knocked off like every fucking game. You never get to use Berry Juice, but here, for once, I fucking see it actually get to use Berry Juice. So yeah, that's weird to me. But anyway, I digress. Grimer's forced out into Fungus, and Snubbull is going to go for that Thief, steal the Fungus's Eviolite, and withdraw right on out, sacking the Chinchou. Levi went for a Spore, but I mean, nothing happened. In comes Ghastly. Ghastly probably would have been able to take out knockoff Fungus from there, but he's going to go for the Sludge Bomb and take out the Grimer, the incoming Grimer. Ghastly does prove to be Life Orb. In comes Mienfoo, who, if Scarf, definitely threatens out Ghastly, as Zorodark's not taking that chance. Goes right out to Scraggy as opposed to Snubbull this time, and eats a U-turn, and levies into Timber. Snubbull being stretched really far this game has to come in so much. The Berry Juice really helped out this game. Takes another Drain Punch, and Zorodark's going to pull a Dole out to Ghastly, as Levi's going to switch out into a Slowpoke. Very solid play, as Ghastly's going to be able to take out the Slowpoke with the Shadow Ball. Ghastly very threatening to Levi's team now. He basically gets a kill every time it comes in. In comes Mienfoo, who is pretty much confirmed to be Scarf at this point, and he's going to U-turn it out on the Scraggy. Zorodark keeps switching in the Scraggy to the Mienfoo, I assume, just so Snubbull doesn't get worn down any more than it needs to. Scraggy's going to knock off Timber's Eviolite and go down to the Drain Punch. In comes Volibee, who can fire off a Brave Bird, and does so, taking out the Timber, but finding itself extremely low in the process. Mienfoo's just going to be able to revenge with the knockoff, knocking off Volibee's Choice Scarf. Oh, it was a Choice Scarf Volibee, but it's also a Choice Scarf Mienfoo, so unfort. In comes Snubbull. Obviously, Mienfoo's not going to be able to take that out with a knockoff, and Snubbull's going to go for the Play Rough. Interesting that he decided to go for the Play Rough there when the Fungus switching, I'd argue, was fairly. Actually, no. The end of this game, I feel like watching it live would have been super suspenseful. That's why I'm really sad I didn't get to see this one live. The end of this game probably would have been really like hypey at the end, because on that play, Zorodark decides to go for the play rough because Mienfoo is locked in a knockoff, so obviously Levi would have to switch out in Fungus because, yeah. But Zorodark also could have like switched out to Ghastly on that play, predicting the Fungus switch in, eating a knockoff. So there's a lot of just mind gamey play going on here that we're not able to fully appreciate in the replay. So, but anyway, the play rough does come out, and Snubbull decides to go for Thunderwave next turn, not wanting his Ghastly to get statused, and as Fungus does go for the Spore, Mienfoo comes in on Snubbull's sleep turn and knocks it off. Knocks off the Snubbull. Mienfoo obviously is confirmed Scarf. Here, alright, so Snubbull has the potential to wake up this turn because it slept for 2 turns. Technically had the potential to wake up for last turn, but it didn't, and got knocked off. So here, Zorodark's going to predict Levi to switch out to Fungus here and go out to Ghastly, but Mienfoo's just going to stay in knockoff, kill Ghastly on the switch, and that's going to be the game. Yeah, because Fungus just wins from here. No reason to risk switching into anything, so you're just going to go for that last knockoff. Mienfoo definitely put in the work this game, and yeah, Fungus is going to be able to win it with the Sludge Bomb. Fungus, Levi's favorite mon, picks him up his first SPL win, because this was his SPL debut. I don't think I mentioned that at the beginning, but yeah, so in his SPL debut, Levi picks up the victory, starting off the season 1-0, Zorodark 0-1, but he started 0-3 last season and then didn't lose again. So a lot can happen throughout the rest of the season, basically. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed, please feel free to leave a like, comment with any feedback you have, and subscribe for more competitive LC content. Like I said, doing every single LC game this SPL, whether they be live or in this replay format. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.